Hello everybody and welcome back. We are going to talk about some more of the best Pokemon from each generation, and today is going to be all about water types. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you're subscribed because I'm getting one of these videos out every single day. Do not miss out. It's all going to be one day after another, same time every single day. So don't forget it. Let's talk about some of the best water types in all of Pokemon, and we're going to start with Generation 1 here, and I just realized I need to scroll over, guys, because we need to see this whole list. There's a lot of water types in Pokemon, guys. A lot of them. So let's go ahead and go over this entire list here, and Generation 1. Generation 1, I think, is an obvious choice. Now, keep in mind, for anyone that did not watch the other two videos, which, first of all, if you haven't done so, do it already. I don't know why you're not doing it. But for anyone that has not already watched those videos, Legendaries do not count. Legendaries do not count for this. But this is Gyarados, guys. Gyarados is by far and beyond one of the best Pokemon that has ever existed. Its design is amazing. The gimmick that it evolves from Magikarp is amazing and surprising. It's incredibly strong, and without a doubt, if Legendaries don't count, Gyarados is one of the best water types in all of Pokemon, period. It has been amazing since day number 1. It truly is amazing. Generation 2, though, is actually kind of a toss-up for me, because there's a lot of Pokemon on this list I love. For example, Azumarill. I think Azumarill is one of the most underrated Pokemon ever made. It has huge power as its ability. It's incredibly bulky, so it has both attack and defense. It gets a really good moveset, and later in the game, they added Fairy typing to it, which gave it even more offense and more defense altogether. I think Azumarill is incredibly underrated, but still Feraligatr is the best. Feraligatr is just too good to toss up. It gets incredible moves. It's a really strong Pokemon. It's a really well designed, and as much as I love Azumarill, it has to go to Feraligatr. I just don't see a world where it isn't Feraligatr. It's got to be him. It's got to be him. Speaking of him, though. This is, in my opinion, the best dual typing in the game. One weakness to Grass. And I know it's a ×4. But competitively, you can know if anything can learn a grass move, you don't send it out. And if it doesn't, then you can send it out. Okay? No weaknesses. Incredible moveset. This thing can get Earthquake. It can get Liquidation. Okay? It can even get things like Superpower, Play Rough, incredible physical moves. This thing has an incredible offensive and defensive typing. Not to mention it's a Gen 3, and I will always be biased towards Gen 3 starters. Just learn that about me, because I love them so much. They're so amazing. Okay? By far and beyond the best. Swampert is always going to be the king of starters in Generation 3, and I think he's the best starter. Okay. I actually wasn't expecting to pick this guy, but it just makes sense. Like, it's Empoleon. It's obviously Empoleon. Water and Steel is an interesting typing. It's more defense than it is offense, and that's exactly what Empoleon is. I don't usually like Pokemon that are more defensive, to be completely honest with you, but my options were pretty limited. Floatzel is incredibly fast, but it's very fragile, and Gastrodon is basically a much worse version of Swampert. Legendaries don't count, and Rotom Wash is Rotom Wash. I really can't put a laundry machine in this, as good as it might be. So I feel like Empoleon's the best option, and it is a really cool design, in all fairness. Generation 5. Generation 5 is an interesting one, because we've once again repeated Water and Ground with Seismitoad. But I generally think it's probably Jellicent. I mean, just thinking about it, like, Jellicent, in my opinion, has one of the best types. Water and Ghost is another really unique type that we hadn't had previously. Jellicent was really competitively viable at the time and may actually still be. I'm just not too up to date on what competitive Pokemon looks like nowadays. But it was huge in Generation 6 and 7. And it's very good offensively. It's really good defensively, having the Ghost type as well. And I think Jellicent does a lot of really good things for you. Come on, guys. Come on. Did you think there was going to be a different answer for Generation 6? Did you think that there was going to be a different answer? Greninja is by far and beyond one of the greatest Pokemon that has ever been made. It's iconic in regards to design. It's iconic in regards to its ability. It's iconic in regards to its power. This thing is incredibly fast. It's incredibly strong. It gets Water Shuriken, which is, in my opinion, one of the coolest unique moves ever made. I love this thing so much. Greninja is amazing. It's one of my mains in Smash as well. They did an excellent job designing this Pokemon. They did an excellent job marketing this Pokemon. They did an excellent job making this Pokemon as strong as they did, because everyone would be very upset if it wasn't. Greninja is definitely not only the best water type in Gen 6, one of the best ever made, maybe even the best ever made. Maybe the best ever made. I'll have to make my mind up at the end of this. Gen 7, though? Gen 7. I don't want it to be Primarina. And that's okay, because Golisopod exists. I've got one thing to say. There was a move that they introduced in Generation 7. It was called First Impression. And First Impression was such a broken move that Golisopod was one of the most broken Pokemon that had ever been created. Golisopod is an absolute monster with First Impression and Liquidation. He is unstoppable in every way, shape, or form. Period. Primarina has a better typing. Golisopod is a better Pokemon. Gen 8 is Urshifu. I mean, this is an obvious choice. Urshifu is one of the most broken Pokemon they ever created. I don't think it's considered a legendary. Is it considered a legendary? I would say no. I'm going to say no, it's not considered a legendary. I'm going to say it's not. One of the most broken Pokemon they've ever created. Unfortunately, Empoleon, while it had a really cool gimmick form with his G-Max form, was not like that great of a Pokemon. I did like the turtle guy. I forgot his name. It's Choodle, who evolves into something else. And I'm not going with Dracovish, so I think it's got to be Urshifu. I think he's just way too strong. And Generation 9, this is actually interesting to me, because all of these are bad, in my personal opinion. I just think they really missed the mark on water types in Gen 9. Iron Bundle ended up being really good. It did. I would probably consider Paradox Pokemon to be gimmick forms, so I'll let that go. So it probably is Quackable, whatever his name is. There's a bunch of quacks in his name. Quackable. You know, that's his name. Whatever this thing is, design-wise, is one of the worst designs I ever saw. The fact that you went from such an amazing starter design with Quaxly, like an amazing starter design, people loved this thing, and then it just kept getting worse, and you got this. Oops, I clicked the wrong thing. You got this, right? And then you got this. Like, why is this the evolution line that you decided on? Like, the graphic designers who designed this starter should be fired. I'm not joking. Like, whoever designed this starter should be fired. They did a very bad job with the evolutions. They did an excellent job with the Quaxly design. But you went from Donald Duck to, like, Kim Kardashian. Like, that's not a comparison that I should be making right now, but that's exactly what they did. That's exactly what they did. It is not a good design whatsoever. But the best, guys, come on. Come on. I only talked about this thing for like 5 minutes of this video. Greninja is iconic. It is legendary. And in my opinion, the best water type they have ever made. That's going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, I'm going to do this at the end of every single video. So I want you guys to know one thing. At the end of every video, I'm going to ask you guys, if you made it this far, to comment something down below. Today, if you made it this far, I want you guys to comment Feraligatr, okay? I want everyone to comment one word, Feraligatr. That'll tell me if you guys made it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Have an excellent day, and I will see you tomorrow so we can talk about some grass types.